hold on.
Oh, okay.
Apathy in 2 words. No initiative.
Apathy is when you don't care about much of anything.
Apathy in 1 word, I would use indifference.
Biggest problem with your generation.
The engineer boy.
Karen, nobody will be eaten up, I promise.
Well, maybe the 2/3.
I'll be Emma.
I don't know.
I'll swallow them.
Parents.
Parents.
Not Karen.
Generation.
With your generation.
Stupidity. Find apathy. Apathy is when people do not care and are not motivated.
I don't know what apathy means, so that question is irrelevant.
You have to speak up a little bit.
You've got to pause it. So speaking up.
Oh, I have to go now?
Yes.
Okay. Apathy is not caring.
It's kind of like the word manipulate. Doesn't exist.
Are you ready? Describe. Oh wait. Okay. Describe apathy.
Apathy. I would think that apathy is not necessarily not caring enough, but not putting enough effort into what you're doing.
Define apathy. Apathy is not caring.
I'm not sure, but it might have to be related to empathy.
Oh.
Define apathy in 3 words or less.
Lack of care.
Apathy is not caring.
Apathy in 3 words or less, not caring.
Apathy in 3 words or less, I don't care.
Apathy, I would define as uncaring. It's careless, it's ignorant, it's selfish.
Why do you think so many students are apathetic towards school?
They don't understand the relevance of what they're expected to learn to their futures and to their lives. I believe that apathy in schools has increased due to education's inability to maintain a pace that's equal to technology that students experience in the real world.
I think students are apathetic about school due to the fact that some of it's a learned reaction. We're in a culture now where people are so used to being able to receive things, rather if they've earned it or not, that they think that schooling's not what they need in order to be successful. I think it's a false assumption on students' part, especially with today's work environment.
I think apathy is a problem of society. I think it's a problem, as far as students growing up. I think lack of support from the home brings those kids who don't care about school.
You care about school.
Yes, I do care about school. Yes, we all get a bad case of senioritis when we get to this 4th year, but do we still care about school? Yes, I'm here every day.
I care about school sometimes. I care about school in as much as it helps me to further my education, but sometimes school can be a burden and you just want to stop caring. But you just have to try, I guess.
As of right now, no, because we got like 15 days of school left. So, not really.
Yeah, school?
It's important and it educates everyone. It's going to help us towards our goal in life. Like me, I'm going to be a nurse and I have to be somewhat educated to be a nurse because I'm not going to poke someone with a needle and be like, oh, I don't even know 2 plus 2 and now I'm rambling.
Yes, I do. I feel that it helps people with life.
And I do care about school because you have to go to school in order to get a job. So, yeah.
Do you think the kids are apathetic or do not care?
No, I don't think so. Very few, if any. Very few.
Okay, I think we have a variety of both, and I think a lot of it is based on family background, how the kids are raised, what they are taught as like their morals, whether or not, how to respect individuals, that kind of thing. Yeah, a lot of kids don't care. They don't care anymore, and they're not made to care. Then you have the kids that, are socially brought up, personality-wise, and just, outgoing kids that aren't taught to care.
I do see a change that there are more kids that don't seem to care about their grades or their school or have some kind of identity with the school. When I started at Northern the first year, the talent show had more than 65 acts, and it took almost 3 hours to complete. And most of you know what the talent show was this past year.
Do you think students are apathetic to other areas of their lives outside of school?
I think students are apathetic about things that they have to do, but don't necessarily choose to.
I think that students are often apathetic about things that they don't care about. Unfortunately, school often is one of those things, and that probably spreads to other things if they don't see the value in those things. That's when the apathy tends to come into play.
I believe that the apathy does extend beyond the school, and I see that particularly in the work environment, where students with whom I work in retail and other positions outside of education don't seem to care about their work as much as I recall others in previous years caring.
I think when it comes to apathy, I think it mainly applies towards school, education, college, career readiness, all those sorts of things, because students don't, think long-term a lot of times. But students are definitely not apathetic about their social lives and their romance lives and things like that. They might be apathetic about jobs or work until they have to pay their first bills, and then they will suddenly care a lot.
In some ways, I think students are apathetic about other parts of their lives, the things that they don't feel is as important to them. But on the other hand, I think many students are very involved with different pieces of their lives. Some of them are farm workers, some of them hold down many jobs, and in that piece they are very apathetic is not the word to describe it, that they're devoted to those pieces of their life. And part of that is survival and what they need to do in order to help themselves or their family. But I don't think it always carries over in both directions.
Students are apathetic toward other areas of their lives. One of the things that I see is also being a minister, a lot of kids aren't active with church anymore. A lot of kids aren't active with social clubs like 4-H and other programs, other youth programs around the area. I talk to youth leaders all the time in the Scouts, and the fact is they're having a hard time getting kids coming in to do it. It's really, I guess it's a video game generation. They want to sit at home and play video games and not get out and actually do anything that means anything.
Do your parents care about how you do in school?
Yeah, my parents care about how I do in school. I think it's important to get a good education.
My parents do care about how I do in school, as long as I try my best, my parents are happy.
Yes, I guess they kind of have to, because they're parents. They're supposed to care about you doing well and whatever you try to do.
Yes, my parents have always cared about how I do in school, and I think that is another thing that contributes to people suffering from apathy.
Is apathy a problem affecting more than just the younger generations?
I think it's a problem that affects all generations, but it's more prevalent in teenagers today.
I think there are people in all generations who are apathetic, at least about certain things.
in the generation that I'm experiencing in the school system is prevalent, but I do also believe that there is apathy amongst Americans currently with respect to many things.
I think that we see apathy across a full spectrum of ages. In fact, I think that apathy is probably generational. One generation passing it down to their offspring, and then they pass it to their offspring, and then we have reproducing apathy.
I believe apathy is prevalent in the younger age, but that doesn't mean 17 and 18-year-olds solely. I think you could probably go up to even 30-year-olds in some of that. However, we also see with some of our poverty areas that apathy is located there also, and that's generational. It could be mothers, grandmothers, grandfathers, fathers. So no, I don't see it totally isolated to the younger population. I see it depending on circumstances for some people, and then the younger population.
Are as apathetic as our students?
Again, most people in the community really appreciate the schools and the system, everything here. So very few would feel that way, I think.
Yes, I mean, I see both sides. I think nowadays there is so much going on. You know what I'm saying? That, you've got the sports, you've got the school, you've got your, maybe you're involved in all these organizations. There just isn't time to do everything. So you just kind of let everything go and just, you know what I'm saying, just don't care whether you participate in your club or your youth group or your school or whatever. So yes, I do see that in the community.
I think it has to start with the students. If the students are fired up about something, whether it's a football game or a theater production or a soccer game or volleyball, then they can get the community to buy into it. But I don't think adults want to do things for students that the students aren't willing to do for themselves.
How can we stop or slow the progression of apathy?
I think that's a difficult question that has no one solution, but I think that if we try to make connections with our students and help them understand the significance of their lives and what they can do with them, it's more likely to decrease the apathy that we're seeing. I believe that one of the ways in which we could perhaps attack apathy is to change our current educational system to be more engaging, and our society needs to put education as a #1 priority. And that would be the first step to take in order to address apathy.
I'm not sure that we can actually stop apathy. We might be able to slow it down or decrease the amount of apathy that we see in our schools. And one really important way to do that is to try to make accessible to all our students extracurricular type things that they can be involved in, because there's so much more to do at school than just learning the basics, reading, math.
I think we as educators, as adults, have a responsibility of giving people something to care about. Programs, things that they can do that really make a difference, not only in their lives, but in the lives of all those around them. Once we get people realizing how much positive effect they can have on other people, that may be one way to curtail the rampant rampage, if you will, of apathy in our society. I really think that giving them something to do that means something is the key to getting rid of apathy.
Is the apathy epidemic affecting the future of society?
I think it's already affecting society. I think we can see evidence of apathy in the workplace. I think we can see it in lack of voter turnout in so many areas of our lives. It's already affecting things. I certainly expect that to increase in the future unless we can connect with our students in ways that are really meaningful.
I think it definitely affects society anytime people don't care about the quality of what's being done. So people in a workplace don't care about doing their job well, then that can have major impacts on society, depending on what the job is. But yeah, I think it definitely affects all of society.
think you can already see the effects of apathy in our society, and I foresee the continued decline of America as a world power, and that goes directly back to apathy in education. An educated society is one that can succeed economically and become a competitive force in a global market.
If we let people just go on their merry, apathetic way, it does affect the future of society. Because as people care less and less about the things that are going on around them, they really lose any care for the important things, the decisions that have to be made by society, the voting process, what goes on in our society as far as laws that are created, this, that, and the other thing. It really does affect everyone. They say what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Well, what happens in Annapolis and what happens in Washington do not stay in Washington or Annapolis. It does affect us, and if we're apathetic about it, that's how it hurts the entire society.
How can we make kids care more?
That would be the toughest one. I don't know. Pay them or feed them, give them what they want, or shorten the school year. That's the only thing I can think of. I think the majority of the children already appreciate the schools system also.
Well, I think kids nowadays need to be taught responsibility, and they need to, if you're in an organization, you need to give that organization or your group or whatever, 100%. And it has to be backed by the parents.
I wish I knew. No, really, I think maybe we need to give our students more responsibility and not, as teachers and staff, not do so much for them. Because I know at other schools, the student clubs, the advisors do almost nothing. The students do it all. They have the responsibility of organizing the prom or a benefit concert, and they do it, and they do it all by themselves. And so maybe if we give them the responsibility, they'll also take ownership of it and be less apathetic.
Do you think about the future and how you will impact it?
I'm constantly thinking about the future. I've been accepted into Frostburg State and eventually plan to teach. Some of you hear about all the time, Trace for president. So maybe one day. So yes, I'm always thinking about the future.
Just run them over. Of course I care about the future. Run them over. Yes, I care about the future, and going to school will help me with my future.
Yeah, I care about the future. One day I want to have kids, and to have kids, I have to support them somehow. So I have to go to school, have to have a job, a decent job, and then I can have the money. Once I have the money, I can support my kids and family.
It's a lot, really, because we all hope we can make an impact on the future. Whether we do or not, well, it depends on how determined we are, and I guess education is a very big part of that.
Yes, I think about the future, and I believe that every person impacts it in their own way by what they decide to do with the rest of their lives.
I do care about it because other people have to go out in the world and get jobs after high school. You have to know what your career path is, so yes, I do.